Hello and welcome to That Arsenal podcast with me, Adam Charles. We're here to talk about a number of topics that are obviously Arsenal related, and I know there are a few people here that have a lot of stuff to get off their chest. It's a very mixed panel this evening. We've got a number of guests, but guys, take it in turns. Introduce yourself. Who's the man in the orange hoodie? What's your name?
Hey, my name's Phil, Arsenal fan, but I've recently taken to watching basketball a lot
Wow,
for obvious reasons. But yeah, still here.
nice.
That's it.
Cam, talk to me.
My name's Cameron. Been an Arsenal fan since day one. How it goes. You already know, man. Got a lot more to say, really. Just want to get into this chat.
You both sound so frustrated already, and we haven't even begun, but it's fine. Tom, let us know where everyone can find you. Oh, Tom, sir, I think your headphones have, or your microphone might be playing up a little bit. Can you hear us? Yeah, we can't hear you. Right. Yeah, give us a second. Junior, in the meantime, while Tom's sorting that out, what do you wanna say?
DMG, don't sleep on me. And basically, I just watch football.
You just watch football.
Yeah, I just watch football nowadays.
Do you want to tell us your very interesting topic on David Luiz or not? Okay, I guess not. Just so everyone knows, he told me when we signed David Luiz that it was a good signing, and just before the restart and we played our Manchester City game, he also told me, tried to convince me for half an hour that David Luiz was a good signing. And then we obviously saw that David Luiz had a red card and had a shocking game. We've lost Tom. We've lost Tom, but he's going to come back in a second. But we can get started anyway. The first thing I want to talk about is obviously the result that we've had today. We managed to beat Sheffield United, which I'm quite surprised about. Didn't think it was going to happen because Chris Wilder has got a very good side on his hands. But obviously we've gone and drawn Manchester City. But first of all, tell me what you thought about the game for you guys. How did you think it was?
Yeah, so I thought it was good personally. Well, actually, good that we won. I thought our ability to play football has just completely gone. I feel like we pretty much just pass it sideways. I don't think anyone in the team knows how to make a through ball pass anymore. A lot of wing play. It was good to see Pepe perform. We paid a lot of money for him, so it's good to see actually a game where he was able to do quite a lot. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that down to Maitland-Niles playing on the right. I said from when Barcelona came in offering £40 million for Bellerin, I said immediately that we should bite their hands off and take it because his career was done. 2 years on, lo and behold, he's not improved at all. So yeah, but it was good to see obviously a good partnership between Pepe and Maitland-Niles, Niles overlapping, and obviously it's good to see a fit Tierney as well. Like Tierney was brilliant today, and just seeing him bombing up and down the wing, and obviously he can cross the ball really well. And yeah, it was just a good wing performance. I still feel that our centre of the park is dreadful, and I feel really, really fortunate to win against Sheffield United.
So, is there anyone here that doesn't feel fortunate to beat Sheffield United, or are we all in agreement that we didn't really deserve to win the game?
Well, I did. Do you know what? Yeah, I kind of agree. But like I said, in the second half, I was sort of in and out of it because obviously I got my little man. But when I watched the highlights, I was thinking, do you know what? We didn't actually deserve it. I'm happy we done it. I wouldn't say we completely deserved it, but then I'm saying that and I'm thinking, did Sheffield really deserve it themselves? It was really 50-50, but like I said, like I even said to you, like, bruv, I text you when all last 3 games, how jarring it is to watch us now. it's so jarring to watch. Like my man said, he was saying, we've got no like technique anymore. It's just going side to side. It's like these players don't want to take a risk and bust a gut for the team anymore. So can't really say a lot more because I'm sort of in agreement.
Fair. And what about you,
You know
Tom?
what I mean?
How are you feeling about the game?
Can you hear me all right now?
Yeah, just about.
Just about. Okay, let's see if I can.
You might have to scream.
Screaming a bit. Okay. Basically, I mean, I was elated that we won. Bottom line was that I was elated that we won the game because it's, as you boys have been saying here, it's been so long since we felt a little bit of joy as Arsenal fans. But being in a semi-final, I mean, Arteta's taken us there. You can call it fortunate. We've had a couple of decent games against lower league opposition, but Sheffield United are still a decent outfit, and we done them over at the end of the day. And I just feel that when you look at the performance of some players on that pitch that have returned, I'm looking at the likes of Granit Xhaka that get stick day in, day out. But for me, without Granit Xhaka in that team, we just aren't winning at the moment. He's so important to this side. He's so important to this side. It's the bottom line. And whilst Bukayo Saka is brilliant and he stands out like anything, by far, Xhaka is being the most important man in this team by just keeping the play ticking over constantly.
Do you know what? I'm just glad that it's not only me. It's not only I've been screaming Granit Xhaka from the very beginning. I think I've always seen his important side. I think he was being used incorrectly when he first came in. And that's why everyone got onto him. But now we've seen his importance. But it's fine. Someone here has just said you're like Ty Tom, basically. But I wouldn't have it if I were you, so we'll go back there. But Junior, obviously,
thank you.
We've got comments here saying that what did Arsenal actually beat today? Think about the perspective. Do you think that Arsenal shouldn't be happy with the result that we had, and are we just literally clamoring because we've had nothing? What do you think, Jimmy?
To be fair, we should be happy in a way, but at the same day, we shouldn't. Like, it's Sheffield United, you know what I mean? I know they've been a great team this season, but if you go back to like 5-6 years ago and you're saying, Arsenal beating Sheffield United, everyone will be like, oh yeah, well, Sheffield United. But it's like, because how Arsenal, like, I don't even consider Arsenal a top 10 team no more. That's how bad it is for me.
Wow.
Like,
okay, well,
it's how Arsenal have dipped. So much. Like, I kind of get. I sort of agree in a way with that comment. It's like, really and truly, who is Sheffield United compared to, like, say if it was City or United, Man United or something, then yeah, fair enough. But
okay, go on.
Come on, Sheffield United. Where are they in the table, Adam?
I think they're fifth.
They're what?
Oh, they're eighth now.
Yeah.
Before the restart, where were they?
I think fifth.
Yeah. So I mean, you can tell that they're a top side. Sheffield United. Before the break, they were doing bits. I think that's a great win against Sheffield United. We rode the storm a few times. We rode our luck as well a few times in the game. But I feel like we should be really proud of winning against Sheffield United. Sheffield United are a good team and they're set up very well. Yes, the break didn't help them. It probably helped them less than everybody else in the league. But I'd be perfectly happy to take a 2-1 against Sheffield United any day of the week. Semi-finals.
That's part of the issue, though, isn't it?
No,
like,
it's not.
We're clearly not the club that we used to be. If you are celebrating winning against a team that's come eighth, but that has only come eighth because every team above them has had an awful season. And Man United are starting to sort it out now. Chelsea have sorted it out towards the latter stages of the season, and we are still lingering down in the mid-table to almost bottom half.
But
that's the only reason why we celebrate a win against Sheffield. If we were who we consider ourselves to be, which is at least a European club, then we should not be celebrating beating Sheffield United. No disrespect to Sheffield as a club.
What do you expect from the current crop of players we have? That we have a manager that's never managed before. It's his first job. We've come from a dark place. Emery was a dark place. What do you expect us to do? Me personally, I think, do you know what? Really and truly, I don't want to be in Europe. We're not good enough to be in the Champions League or Europa League. I think it's been a rebuilding process for a very long time. We've hit rock bottom, as I think so. For me, it's only on and upward. This is where we are. This is
rock bottom.
No, this is rock bottom. This is
this is very, very close to rock bottom. This is probably the worst I've seen.
It's close to it. It's not rock bottom. It could get worse. It could be worse. It could be worse.
It could literally, if we don't make a good signing this off season, next year will be rock bottom because we will be even worse.
Damn, Tom, do you think that this is do you think we're being pessimistic, or do you think this is a real acknowledgement and understanding of the state of affairs that Arsenal find themselves in currently?
Come on, Tom.
Please don't brandish me with that, Jesus Christ. I just think when you look at where Arsenal are at right now, and you're looking at the state of the financial side of things, the squad that we've got, I don't really see Sheffield United as a bad win, if you want to describe it in that way. Sheffield United, as you guys have talked about, have done really well this season, and they've taken points off of some big sides as well in the league, and that's the reason why they are where they are in the league at the moment. You can't look at Arsenal any longer as the consistent top four side, and especially not as a title challenging side. We're in a different phase of play right now, and we know who's to blame for that. We can point fingers at Ivan Gazidis and Stan Kroenke and all of that, but at the end of the day, we just have to deal with the hand that we've been dealt as fans, get behind that side and pray to God that something changes. We're starting to see some change. I think the assignment of Arteta is a sign of change, getting someone who's got an affiliation with the club, bringing the likes of Edu in, who's then got an affiliation with the club, seeing the likes of Sir Chips Keswick stand down, getting these non-football heads off of the board is a big step for this club. And it's going to take time. It's going to take so much time to actually turn things around. Go for it, mate.
What would you consider us a top 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 club? Just where do we come in that list?
It's hard because you look at the clubs around us. Wolves are arguably in a better position than us right now.
Wolves are better than Arsenal.
No, that's not the question you asked me. That's not
that's because. So I'm saying based on like reputation. So you know when people say that Everton should, in my opinion, be a top 8 club, right?
Right. Yeah.
Where is Arsenal on that?
It's like this word should. It's like the word should. Arsenal should be a top 4 side. Should be based on history and reputation and the money that they're worth. They should be a top 4 side, but they're not because we're run by the wrong people. We're run by people that are making bad decisions.
So, as someone who believes that we should be a top 4 side, how can you possibly be happy with the current state of the club? You're saying we should just accept it.
Let me jump in. He did not say that we should be happy with the current state. He said we should get behind the manager, which I think is different to just passively accepting what's going on. So I've got to defend Tom there. I'm sorry. And all the people calling him Ty in the comments.
Really that's unbelievable.
Let me just read out the super chat quickly. Luke Williams said, second half we was lucky a bit. They came on strong. Thank you very much, Luke Williams, for the super chat. I completely understand. I think Sheffield United did come back strong. I think they're a solid side. I always wonder whether teams that have just been promoted will be able to do it again the second season. It takes time for people to figure them out, and I think you're even seeing that now because they've struggled since the restart. And I think people have figured them out pretty much now. But yeah, they did come back strong. But I think Arsenal, considering we're always criticised for not being able to see out games when we're winning, to do that and having taken the equaliser, I think is a decent thing. But moving on, we mentioned the squad. I can't remember who it was exactly. I'm going to come to Cameron first on this question. Talk to me about Mattéo Guendouzi. This is a player who he divides opinion because we've got. Sorry, and I just need to say, someone said thank you to Tom. TD show. I don't know what he means by that. Sorry, I think I might have got his comment wrong. But yeah, this is a guy who divides opinion, because you have some people saying that Arsenal have lacked the grit and determination that he shows by strangling players on the pitch. You've got some people that are saying that he's worth £60 million because he is a French international player.
Oh my days, am I watching a Kevin Hart comedy right now, man? Man said 60 million. Who said that, bruv?
Some people that claim
who said 60 million? I want to know the person who said 60 million.
You don't want to do it. But
they need.
I promise there are people out there.
Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? All jokes aside, he could be a great talent. He actually could be, but from the last 2 years, I haven't really seen him improve too much. Do you know what I mean? There's not really maybe people might disagree with me. What I see, I don't like. He does have good games. Don't get me wrong, but then there's games he comes on and he's just like, what's he doing on the pitch? Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. There's times where, like, even when we restarted against City, like, you would see the way City would play out the back, and their sort of CDM or the role he was playing, he'll be moving about with the players. This guy was just slowly moving, and when one player went in front of him, instead of him like running away at the other side to make more space for the pass, he would just jog. And you're like, come on, man, why do you think City are like this? Why do you think Liverpool are like this? It's like with basically the whole squad. They don't close down now. I don't know but they just don't close down players. They just jog into players, and they only start closing them down as soon as the play sort of comes near their area. That's when they will maybe take 1-2 big steps and try and close them down. But £60 million, nah. I mean, if someone can pay £60 million for him, I'll take it, bro. That's that, bro. You've just been, what's the word?
Daylight robbery.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So we've got a comment here. DS Electronics Unlimited said not 60 million, but 65. So clearly, you see something in him that others do too. What does anyone think he's worth that kind of price at all, or even close?
Not right now, no.
I'm probably saying that he's worth more than 25, all of your 30. Faces. All of your faces are saying, yeah, he's worth about 25 or less. I reckon he's worth 40 mil or upwards.
Wow. Based on what, bro?
All right, so obviously I know.
Or what? He's doing.
Sorry, but here's.
I don't understand.
This guy is one of the best passers on our team.
What?
Like statistically and actually hands down, he's one of the best passers on our team.
What, sideways? As in the sideways passes?
I don't know if he just makes sideways passes. Obviously, I don't know what his percentage is as forward to sideways. But you know when I just said that, I don't know any player in our team that can make a through ball pass other than Ozil. Obviously, I'm not counting Ozil because he's not playing at the moment. Yeah. So the only other player I know in our team that can make a good through ball pass is Guendouzi. I've not seen anyone else do it. I've not seen anyone else in our team get the ball in our half and run with the ball in the center of the park. I'm not talking about on the wings. I'm talking about in the center of the park. Get the ball and run with the ball in a forward direction. Ceballos will spin in a circle. Xhaka will pass the ball, and Xhaka's a great passer of the ball. Torreira won't do it. He's done it once against Tottenham, and that was a great time. But that's that. There's no other player in our team that can do what Guendouzi does. Now, obviously, he's young. He's 21 years old. Guendouzi's 21 years old, so there's a lot of maturity that needs to go in there. But I think I saw one of the comments saying that his ceiling is high, and his ceiling is very high. And I think that it's not. I don't want it to be another one of these ones where I get proved right when he goes to a Bayern Munich and starts banging goals like Gnabry did. I don't want it to be another situation where a quality young player leaves us and then goes. In that small period of time where they said that he might leave Arsenal or that they had a disagreement, was it PSG that were in for him? Was it Barcelona that were? Or these are rumors, obviously, but look at the teams that he's being aligned with. If he's dead, he wouldn't be aligned with those teams. I think the people that think he's rubbish just need to take into account his age, and then also, just take into account his age. He's got a high ceiling.
I just want you to hear what you said. There's nobody in Arsenal's team that can do what Guendouzi does. That's what you just said.
Correct. Backing it.
Wow.
100%.
Wow. Okay.
So are you saying?
I don't know what Guendouzi does though. That's the problem.
I've already told you, but I'll say it again. Right, the guy can carry.
I understand what you said. I understand what you said. Like, I do agree with you in some sense, but there's other sense where he loses the ball quite a lot, or he oversteps the ball.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying.
I get what you're saying. Like I said at the start before, like I was like, he does have the prospect of being a good talent.
Well, Junior, just letting you know. So you're saying to do what?
Yeah.
You have to address Philip's point. I've just read this week that Barcelona were in for him, Inter were in for him. Surely that shows he's got something.
Yeah. No. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I understand. Yeah, he does have the potential there, but that's what I'm saying. It's been 2 years, and I still don't know what his best position is. What is his best position?
40 years. Right. He's a centre mid.
That does
the deep line playmaker, if not a bit of a box to box midfielder.
So Tom, tell me what you think.
When you guys are chatting, I was just having a look at a couple of the statistics about him. On average, he's losing the ball 7 times in each game, and 50% of those are in our own half, which is quite damning. However, the point on passing is genuinely legitimate. He's got a 90.3% pass accuracy, which for a guy who's 21 years of age is very impressive. And then when you look at his forward to backward passes, he's doubling the amount of forward passes compared to backward passes. So he is a positive player. He does move the ball forwards. He is just, for me, it's the attitude side of things where I think things fall down for him. Like, seeing him go into the Brighton game and what he did to Mopé at the end, don't get me wrong, I thought Mopé was an utter tool for what he did to Leno. He shouldn't have jumped into the guy. And I saw it again today with Ollie McBurney jumping into one of our guys on the side of the pitch. It's needless, and he gets players injured. But back on to Guendouzi, it's the attitudes in the wrong place. I think I agree in the 40 million region in usual terms. However, because of COVID, I think that probably drops down to about 30 million pounds, about the amount of money that teams have got to spend. So if we could get 30 million pounds for him, I would take it based upon the fact that he's a player that's probably one of the only guys that we've got that's got any collateral about him that's worth a lot of money to us that we could reinvest in a better player. Because I think Guendouzi at the moment is just he's a wrong place, wrong time for Arsenal. He's someone that we could have done with 5 years ago, but right now we're in a rut and we need someone who's going to really commit in the right way. And I don't feel like Guendouzi is that player.
Okay.
I agree.
I hear it. I think I would probably keep Guendouzi. It's one of those cases you don't know what you've lost till it's gone. I think when I first saw Guendouzi, he did make a couple of nice incisive passes, and I thought he's got it. Since then, I think I wouldn't even say he's regressed. He just hasn't progressed, which is a problem. And I think it's only now that I'm seeing people like Barcelona who want him that make me think, okay, have we got a player on our hands? However, looking at Barcelona's transfer policy over the past couple seasons, that makes me think that there's a problem with Guendouzi more than there's actual talent there. So I'm not even too sure. But
what about Inter's transfer policy?
Yeah, all right. Inter Milan as well. Fine, maybe.
PSG.
But then I do think he has a future. But I think it's up to him to recognize what his best position is. And I don't think any of us could say what his best position is right now.
I agree with Tom. I think that I'd still hold the 40 million valuation, but I would say that definitely cash. I think in terms of a player that has the collateral, I think cash in on him. If another team comes in with 40 million, again, just like the Bellerin thing, bite their hand off, take it, reinvest it in a player that can perform. Because the attitude thing definitely does pose a question. I mean, if what he said was true about talking about at the end of the day, I still get paid X amount of money, like he's clearly a dick. And the earlier you deal with that kind of personality, because we've got no one in our team that can pattern him, that can like say that's not the way to go about it and then make him sort it out. I don't know if Aubameyang's that kind of player. No. David Luiz makes way too many mistakes to command respect. I know they say that he has it in the locker room, but I'm not convinced. So yeah, if we can't control him and his moods, yeah, just ship him out.
Cameron, I see you shaking your head.
No, I was agreeing with what he was saying, and then when he was talking about David Luiz, that's why I was like, nah, he's like, I basically agree with what he was saying. Like, basically, like, yeah, David Luiz does not have it. I don't know. I don't know who gassed Pelican Emery to buy him, but I don't know.
But this is what I'm saying. Back to Tom's point though about like, I know we were talking about the Arteta being a good manager, all of the things, but I feel like one of the first instances of what type of manager does he want to be was allowing David Luiz's contract to run down and getting in anyone else. I literally don't care, or dealing with the people that we have currently. And he decided, I'm sure that he was a part of it, decided to renew his contract. And for that reason, that's a red flag.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, because I remember the last time I was on when I said about David Luiz, yeah, David Lewis from Stockport, when he's somewhere commented, I remember. I said that David Luiz was our most overrated defender, and people were like, well, no, he's our best defender. No, he's not. People might disagree with me on this one. I personally think if you keep him fit, Holding is going to be our best defender. He already is. He's already proven it. Like, not proving it, but he's most games he plays. Yeah, I do see. Fair enough. He's still young himself. He's still got a lot to learn, but that's because he's injury prone. That's his big problem. But I reckon if you put him on a good run of games, get the experience behind him, I reckon he's going to be a top defender. Maybe even an England defender, like a proper England starter. That's what I believe. So I don't know why they've given David Luiz another bloody year. Stuff. Oh my God.
I think who knows? Nobody.
Holding's issue is that he's an old school defender. He's like a no nonsense centre back. Just like
that's what I think. That's what I like about him. That's what I like about him. But then I realize it's like there's some things you can't do today that maybe you could do back in obviously 10, 15 years ago. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I think that E3 boss in the chat summed it up perfectly by saying that it's the range of passing about Holding. That's his biggest drawback. His distribution of a modern defender just is not of the same level as the other defenders. And I think that's why that's David Luiz, because of his passing and what he can just ping a ball. But I'll back Arteta all day long, but I 100% agree with you boys that the red flag came up when he came out and said that he wanted to sign him for another year, because I thought that Arteta would be more ambitious. And when he came in, he was saying, like, if the players aren't right, I'm going to get rid of them. And I know that was more to do with attitude, but I thought it would also be to do with quality and the amount of quality he wants in the side. And David Luiz needs to be improved upon. So for me, what I'm hoping is that they've signed him on for another year to make up the numbers. He isn't going to start too many games, but I fear that's probably not the case. I fear that he is going to be starting a fair few games even into next season.
Does anyone follow that at Transfer Checker on Twitter? He's like one of the.
I've got a Twitter, but I don't even use it.
Yeah, neither do I. I literally just go on for his account to see like what's going on. But he's like one of the rare people who seem to be quite accurate with things that's going on behind the scenes. And he said that the extension on David Luiz's contract is reduced money, and the only promise he has is that he'll be a 5th choice centre back. So
yes.
I still think that being signed, he might as well not be there at the end of the day. But
I've already said.
What have you
yeah, no, sorry, no, because I've already said to you, Adam, when Me personally, I truly believe we need to just get rid of everyone that's over 27 and just start afresh, because I don't want to go in Europe this year. There's no point going in Europe this year. What we're gonna do? We're gonna go in Europe and get knocked out again. There's literally no point.
Do you know what?
I don't believe we're gonna win Europa League.
There's
I
one
think.
point.
Do you know what it is? Yeah. If you see how do you know what? We need to take, like, I think what Arteta needs to do, yeah, if he wants to build a whole squad now, me personally, I would look at how Klopp came in and his first 2 years. He didn't bring in, he brought in Mane, one of his first signings brought in Mane, but the other signings weren't the best, but they were just there because of, like, just to build numbers for strength. But they know he's not like world class, the best players, but he got them until Liverpool progressed up, and now look at Liverpool. Like, I just hope Klopp isn't there for a long time, otherwise Liverpool dominate.
Fair. Right, GMG, welcome back. Again, we got another super chat. Ibra Official said, Arsenal fans, we've gone from bragging about Adams to Rob Holding, which obviously doesn't say much about us right now. But we spoke while you were away about Arteta being the man for Arsenal, and the fact that it was a red flag that he signed David Luiz to a year extension, even though we've got Saliba coming in, Holding's on his way back from injury, returning to full fitness. Do you think Arteta is the right? No, it's all right. Don't be stressed. Don't be stressed. Do you think Arteta is the right man for the Arsenal job?
To be completely honest, I don't know. I don't know who's right for Arsenal. I don't know what is right for Arsenal. I like the way Arteta articulates himself. We've not had a man. Well, in Emery, not mean to be disrespectful or whatever, but Emery wasn't able to articulate himself well for various reasons. And I think Arteta has solved that problem. He can speak to the media. He can, if he's given the media what he's given them, I'm sure we'll be able to speak to the squad and they'll be able to understand what he's saying and his vision. Number one. Secondly, I think obviously working alongside Pep helps. I don't think it's the be all and end all of being a great coach. As we've seen with people like Jose Mourinho, working under Bobby Robson, etc. It does help having a good manager around you and being their number two. So I think that helps, but as I said, it's not the be all and end all. Thirdly, I think Arteta has been there in a time where Kroenke's been there. You know, he kind of understands the values that Kroenke has put into the team, good or bad, or ugly, whatever it is. He understands it. He went there with a plan. He knows how the board think. Yes, it's a different board. It's not even Gazidis, etc. But he understands where they're coming from and he understands what he wants to put in place. Lastly, I think Arteta's a footballer, man. We all know that he was the person at Man City that, you know, put his arm around the players' shoulders and got them on side, etc. I think if you can bring the Arsenal back together, the unity of the club back together, because we could see it from when Wenger's last few days, the club was in tatters. The players didn't believe in his ideas. Emery came in. I mean, we believed Emery up until a certain point. I mean, I didn't, you know, for various reasons. And I think Arteta, if he can just bring us back together, back to, you know, just thinking of the same idea, having the same ideology as a club, even just as the players, as a squad, I think he can do well. The only thing is nowadays in football, you don't have time. You don't have time to be able to put your ideas into place. Luckily with Klopp, because Klopp did well at Dortmund, he was given a bit more time. He was given he said, look, this is my 5-year plan, and he was able to execute it. If we give Arteta time, I think he can be the right man for the job. But he needs to get rid of some deadwood at the club, and there's a lot of deadwood at the club. And as I said, that's going to take some time.
So a lot of points there, and I agree with them mostly. The only dubious point is you said Arteta is the right man for the job given enough time. Now I'm going to ask the rest of you, Tom, starting with you. What do you think the right man for the job looks like? Is that getting us into the top 4? Is that winning trophies? Is that getting us back into Europa League? What does that mean?
It has to be top 4, but I think that when you look at when he came in, I find it really baffling how anyone can have a judgment about saying we need to get Arteta out now. Like the bloke's not even had a summer yet, and people want him out already. Like you could put Guardiola, Klopp, Mourinho, whoever you like, into this squad, and they'd struggle because this squad is so out of place. There's so many issues with it that you can't solve these problems from December to now, especially with the situation we've got going on with a huge break in between. And then you've got to think about the financial restrictions and what we've got available to spend to actually improve the squad. I don't get where the criticism, like the defining, it's all well and good defining and criticising the David Luiz thing. And I criticised him for that. But overall, you can't say that he's the wrong guy. I don't get it. I don't get it whatsoever. And that statement is true. That comment was completely true.
Whoever commented that, you're a legend, bro. I didn't catch your name, bro, but that was a nice comment still.
That's down to Arsenal's transfer policy. Like we just bring in the wrong players. Like, I even look at the Aubameyang thing, and hear me out on this before anyone goes like, "What is he talking about, Aubameyang?" But we spent £60 million on a striker when we just spent £55 million on Lacazette, when we could have spent that money investing in the defence or in the midfield. We spent £72 million on Pepe, and don't get me wrong, I think Pepe could be great, and that would be wonderful, but we could have spent £72 million on another centre-back or a centre midfield. The recruitment is so far off, so to give Arteta just a chance at the job would be nice.
I completely agree. I don't really understand why people are saying that Arteta isn't the one for the job. I just don't get it. Considering everyone knows how badly run it was under Wenger. Everyone knows how much worse Arteta made it. Emery made it. And then the fact that he hasn't even had a transfer window, really, I don't really get how you can claim his head at this moment in time. So yeah, I don't really get it. But what the rest of you think that he needs to do to improve the team? I know we always talk about centre backs, but a lot of people are saying that we should stop comparing ourselves to Klopp. But then some people saying that Klopp achieved a balanced squad. So is that what we need to do? Get rid of both Aubameyang and Lacazette and focus there. What's the solution? I'll go on Cam first, and then I'll go to Phil.
Do you know what? I do back him. I mean, I made a joke the other day when the David Luiz signed another year. I was like, no, just get rid of him now. But that was just a joke. But I do back him because I do believe he wants the pass.
Oh,
sick.
Oh no. To
come back to Arsenal. He wants Arsenal to be. I'm here. Am I here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I believe he wants Arsenal to be great again, but it's like you're saying, like there's so much dead wood at Arsenal. It's like it's not. I don't know how long it's gonna take him to adjust the team, sort of thing. Like it's gonna take him a while because I'm just thinking about the squad. It's just upsetting me, to be honest. Like the only, do you know what? I think we need to focus more on our youth now, because I think I do believe Joe Willock, give him time, he could potentially be a good player, a really good player. Saka 100% we need, because he's proven he can literally play in any position and he fits it. He doesn't mind. Reece Nelson, I'll give a couple more years, see how he goes. See if he can improve and get his confidence up. If not, then sell him, because I do believe if on confidence on his day, Reece Nelson can see a really great ringer.
All right, so obviously
it's like with the Lacazette thing,
sorry, fella.
No, go on.
There are a few raised eyebrows to Joe Willock apparently being a potentially good player. Talk to me about that one, Phil.
I don't know. After you've just given me stick on the Guendouzi thing, the Joe Willock thing is just bewildering to me.
Yeah, but Joe Willock hasn't played as much as Guendouzi. Remember that?
I don't know. I've seen him a lot. Like I've seen Willock a lot.
Yeah.
It may not. I think I've seen him a lot actually. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
To be fair, the only one time I see him sort of struggle is when he plays the Premier League games. But with the FA Cup games and that, he looks like he's up for it. I think with him, it's just a confidence thing as well. With all the, to be honest, with all the players, it's a confidence thing, man. It's like they just don't have any confidence anymore. Like
Willock
I think the
is a
two
really,
wins,
really hard worker.
And that's probably the only.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nah, he's hard
Doing
work.
long
But
stuff.
I see potential. I've seen a couple passes, a couple goals. It's mad. But then, like I said, we're all judging all these players, and we're saying Xhaka's our best player. Like, wow.
Jacob boys for life. Of course. Yeah.
You know what it is? Yeah. I just
Like-
feel like with Arsenal's midfield, especially for me, and also our forwards, we need to get people that are comfortable on the ball. Personally, I don't feel
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
the players that we have, when they get the ball, their first touch sometimes is a tackle. Do you know what I'm saying? So they're first of all not comfortable on the ball. It's like Theo Walker. When Theo got the ball, his first touch was always tackling the ball. And I feel like we need to get players, especially in midfield, that you get the ball, you look up, you pass the ball, you play around. I'm used to the Arsenal where we had Samir Nasri, we had Kleb, we have all these men in midfield that they're popping the ball about. Fabregas, like we're popping the ball about, and I feel like we've lost what made us. Because for me, that was an amazing. I love that football. That kind of football is what I die for, right? That made me think, you know what, this team is amazing, and I want to see that football back again. And I feel like if that's where we're going, we need to get those sorts of players in our team. Emery tried a different sort of approach with getting just runners, useless people that just ran around everywhere on the pitch like headless chickens. And I want to see what Arteta does in the transfer window to see what kind of players he wants to have in a team. That's why I personally feel like he kept David Luiz, because David Luiz is comfortable on the ball.
Right. So you say this, but you're talking about the player's first touch. Arteta's known for his coaching, so surely he should be the person that's going to be able to get the best out of his players, no?
Which I agree, but you can't coach Willock. You can't. Willock is uncoachable. Willock needs to play for, no disrespect, but like Swansea or one of those other teams, because Willock is for me personally. I don't like to disrespect people, innit? But Willock is not it. You know, he needs to follow his younger brother. Maybe move abroad. I don't know, but he needs to not play for Arsenal because Willock is not it at all. Somebody once told me that he's Arsenal's worst graduate. You know, don't quote me, but you know.
Wow, worst academy graduate. Okay. Right. So moving on, guys. When I asked a couple of you to come on, a lot of you said that you had some things to get off your chest, and I want to dedicate this last section to have a little therapy session, I suppose, because I know a lot of you are feeling it. Some people even told me that the problems we're facing are because of Arsene Wenger, and what's happening now is making him look good. Guys, I'd just love to know. I'd just love to know what you think about Arsenal and how bad or good we actually are.
How bad we are. We're bad. We're bad. Right now we're bad. Like I said, since we've come back from the restart, every game has been jarring to watch. Every single game. Today there was a bit more. They looked like there was a bit more in it, but it was still quite jarring to watch. Like, because it was going back to the point earlier when you're saying about there's no like creativity in the squad or anything, because there isn't. There literally isn't. Ozil's not it. $350 a week for what? To sit under an umbrella. Do you know what I mean? It's like, like I said, me personally, I want to see it as a long-term thing. Like next 5 years, I want to see Arsenal with a squad, where there's depth, I don't care who the players are. They can be the world-class players. I just want to see Arsenal with depth and passion. Do you know what I mean? Where we're competing to the point where people look at us like, oh, give Arsenal maybe another year or so. They might be title challengers, or we might even be title challengers by then. Do you know what I mean? I can't be bothered for all this top 4 talk, like, because we went, fair enough, we was in the Champions League how many years in a row? What did we achieve? One final. So you're happy we got in the Champions League near enough 20 years in a row to achieve one final that we lost? Come on. What's the point being in the Champions League if you're not going to get anywhere? It's like setting yourself up to fail, bruv. Like, come on.
But there's a lot to be said for consistency, you know? 16 years and now doing what?
No, I get it. In the league, I get it. But now look at the teams that's come up now. You got Leicester, Wolves, Tottenham are coming up. Well, they're going down again with Mourinho, but if they change their manager, they might come up because they have got a good squad. They got good depth, good squad. Good depth in their squad. So it's not just a top 4 anymore. There's 6, 7 teams in it now, 8 teams in it now.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Would we still be getting top 4 if these, say, extra 4 teams were competing? How they're competing now when we was under Wenger? Would we get in top 4? I don't know.
Yeah, for me. Junior doesn't seem to agree.
Of course we'd get in top 4. 100%. We were going up against the Chelseas of this world, the Uniteds of this world. Like, we definitely get top 4. 100% get top. Everton were doing bits. West Ham were doing bits. We would 100% get in top 4. 100%. I think our team is just not good enough at the moment. That's just it.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah,
I feel like you respect Wenger, aren't you? Surely.
What's that?
You respect Wenger. You respect what he did. 16 years in the Champions League, consistently.
I respect what he did, but I don't think he delivered on what he wanted to do. Where he said he wanted to leave us with, like, us being in the best possible position for the next coach. I don't think he left it in that position whatsoever. I think he left way too late. But it's, in terms of like where I think we're at, I was, while you guys were chatting about Deadwood, I mean, the Deadwood comment stuck with me for a little bit now, and I was writing down the players that I think that I would like. Who would I keep? Because you were talking about Willock and you're talking about Nelson and that, and I'd keep 16 players of the squad, but I'd get rid of 13 of them. And I'm thinking about, like, well, if I'm keeping 16 members of this squad, if you can add 2, I was saying this on Twitter the other day, I was like, if you add 2 midfielders, and I'm talking top level, world-class level midfielders to this team, I think you've got a transformative situation. But we always talked about how Arsenal were 1 or 2 signs away from challenging. And now we're talking about Arsenal being 1 or 2 signs away from challenging for top 4. But genuinely, if you look what's available to us now, I think it's more than just a midfield. I think the right back is a big problem for me personally. I think Bellerin is an issue that he's declining so much. I didn't agree with the Cedric thing because I was thinking if Cedric's coming in, then it means Bellerin must be staying because Cedric is purely cover. If we got rid of Bellerin and brought in someone else, I was looking at Castagna at Atalanta, and he's done really well as someone who's got a year left on his deal, and he's done really well. And I thought, why aren't Arsenal just going in for someone like that and then moving on players like Bellerin that have just plateaued? You look at the back line, Saliba's coming in and Holding's doing really well. If those 2 were to kick it off, you've got 2 potentially really good centre-backs there. Tierney smashing it at left-back, absolutely loving what he's doing. And you've got the option of playing 3 at the back with Tierney as a left centre-back. And I thought against Southampton, he bossed that left centre-back role. I thought he was brilliant, which then means you can put Saka in a left wing-back role and play him more advanced. So you've got that. And then the midfield is where I think the main focus has got to be. Xhaka's a question mark because we seemingly can't win without him, but he's flawed. Massively flawed in certain areas. If you were to bring in a Thomas Partey to sort of bulk that midfield up and give some real quality, and if you add maybe a younger type player to replace Guendouzi, I think you've got potential there. And then the front line, Pepe is here, and we've spent a lot of money on him. You hope he'd come good. The striking position, if you can keep hold of Aubameyang, great. If you can't keep Lacazette, because for me, he's declined to a point now, and his form is at a point where you need to move him on. You have to take the money of what Atletico Madrid are arguably going to give you, and it leaves you. And you've got Martinelli coming through as well, that you could arguably be a really great player, and that leaves you with a squad where if you replace a couple of midfielders and the right back, I think you've got a decent squad there. But what you guys were saying, I think what Cam was saying about squad depth is the biggest problem. Is we just don't have the quality running throughout the squad. Like Man City blow us away. Like you can play 2 different teams in Man City and they'll be up there challenging for the top 4. We just don't have that depth whatsoever. One player goes out and we look like Xhaka's left and we question Xhaka on a daily basis. But if he's not in the squad, we're like, what are we going to do to win a game? It's mental.
You hear that? What are we going to do?
Guendouzi.
It's a sorry state of affairs, man. I'm sad. I'm sad to see Arsenal in the position that they're in right now, but it's fine. Whether we blame Wenger or what, just so we're clear, some of the most notable names on your list of leavers are Lacazette and Aubameyang. Did I hear that correctly?
I said if Aubameyang doesn't re-sign this summer, we have to get what we can get for him, because we can't let him go for free. We just can't.
I think on top of can't let him go for free, we can't sign another player to 300 grand a week. We are not in a position to also be held to ransom for a ridiculous contract for someone who's 30. I don't care. If he's not scoring, because I've seen him miss some. Obviously, Aguero misses loads of chances and scores 1, and then he might score 25 a season. He's quality, and so you'd keep him. You're paying the money. But Aubameyang, I'm not sure if we can afford to actually spend 300k a week on one player anymore. So if that's what he wants to stay, he's got to go. Seriously, I don't care. We're not having another Ozil situation when we have years to make up for and loads of areas to strengthen.
Go on, Cam.
Can I say one thing about Aubameyang? I remember on the last one I was on when I said I believe Aubameyang is overrated for the right reasons, but he's overrated. Can someone tell me what he's done since he's come back, please?
Yeah.
Aubameyang's overrated, bro. Come on.
What's he done?
Bro.
What's he done since he's come back? What's he done?
You mean since the break, right? You mean
since the breaks? What's he done? Like I said, like I said, if you heard what I said, he's overrated for a good reason. But since he's come back, what has he done?
Sorry, what's that good reason?
He saved us many a times. That's the reason. I can't fault him for that.
His goal ratio. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Like I said, apart from the goals, his touches are dead. But after two touches, his touches are whack. And then he comes back and then he can't even score. Don't tell me the keeper saved that. That looked like the keeper's fund didn't even look like it was in the glove. He should have been scoring. If you're a top striker, I'm sorry, you should be scoring that. Now I do understand, Jay. You should. I do understand, Jay. He's playing in the wrong position. I don't know why Arteta is playing him on the left. My man should really be up front.
Because he scores more goals.
Even with that.
Wow. Okay.
But he hasn't scored.
There's quite a lot of people that seem to be agreeing with you in the comments.
Yeah, but that's man. I don't want to hear it. I literally don't want to hear anyone calling him overrated because he's done so much. It's like saying what Sanchez in his prime not in his prime, but when he was playing with us and he goes 3 games without scoring. It's like calling him overrated at the time. It didn't make sense.
No, but Sanchez did a lot for us. This guy just
done
runs
a lot
about.
for us. Oh.
To be fair, Aubameyang's what? Prior to lockdown, he was joint top scorer, I believe, or even up there. He scored.
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
top
2
last
behind, I think.
with Mane and Salah. I mean, you can't really get much more consistent than that. He's doing his job, and
like I said, people are jumping on me. Like I'm saying, I don't want him at the club. I'm saying if you look at the way he plays, after the second or third touch, it's over. Like the first 2 touches, fair enough. If he doesn't shoot or pass it with the first 2 touches, he ends up losing the ball.
Okay, We've got a super chat here from TD Shift. We've got two, in fact. One says, Tom, can you read the get rid list of players? And the second one, I believe, is asking for the same thing. Tom, tell me your sell list. Let me know.
Sure. I'd be interested to see if you boys agree with it or not. I mean, I put Bellerin, Socrates, Mustafi, Chambers, Kolasinac, Ozil, Guendouzi, if we got a decent fee for him, Lacazette, Nelson, El Neni, Mkhitaryan, and I've put question mark next to Willock. I don't think you're going to get a decent fee for Willock, so I think you probably keep him.
I agree with everyone except Guendouzi.
I agree with everyone except Guendouzi and Chambers.
Why not Chambers?
What are you on about? Oh, man.
We were talking about strength and depth. I think Chambers.
Yeah. I would add to that, to be honest.
Is a player for the bench. He's a player for the bench.
Okay, so if Cam's saying you'd add to it, out of Leno, Martinez, Holding, Saliba, Tierney, Xhaka, Torreira, Saka, Martinelli, Nketiah, Pepe, Aubameyang, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Mari, and Emile Smith-Rowe, who are you getting rid of?
Put Maitland-Niles in the bin.
Maitland-Niles.
Maitland-Niles.
Yeah, he's good for a squad player.
Who's on your list again? Say that again. Say your list again. Sorry.
So keeping Leno, Martinez, Holding, Saliba, Mari, Tierney, Xhaka, Torreira, Saka, Martinelli, Nketiah, Pepe, Aubameyang. You get rid of Xhaka. The thing is, if you get rid of Xhaka, you're getting rid of our possibility of winning. That's the problem.
No.
I get rid of
obviously.
No, if you keep Guendouzi or
not. Get rid of Xhaka and replace him for a better player.
Yeah, of course. And that's the thing, is that if you replace him for like a Partey, I think you're probably fine. It's just...
That's what I'm saying. So I'd add two more to that, to your list. It'd be Xhaka and Maitland-Niles.
I think the Aubameyang argument's really interesting because I agree
and Aubameyang has a question mark against him.
Yeah, you've got a question, and I think that the term overrated is because of the team that he's in that people consider him overrated. Because Arsenal are declining, Aubameyang is still a top class scorer. That it appears that he is overrated because Arsenal are going backwards. But he's not scored any less goals. Like, you can't overrate him in that sense. However, what I will say is ever since Aubameyang has come into the side, goals from other areas of the pitch have gone down. Goals are coming more from Aubameyang, but less goals are being scored. Feel free to prove me wrong, but less goals are being scored across the team.
It's true.
Go on.
We've sold.
But that's
Ramsey,
because
a lot of our our goals. We've sold a lot of them.
Yeah, that's exactly my point. Yeah,
goals. Ramsey got a few goals. From the top of my head, I can't remember a lot of them, but that's the only reason why he's the only person that can score.
Yeah, but it's not like Ramsey's left and no one's gone into his position. Someone else has gone into Ramsey's position and is not scoring. Like,
no one that can score though.
Right. So if you look at the players that are in the squad, there are less goals happening across it now. Aubameyang is in it. When you had like Olivier Giroud, you had Alexis scoring, you had Ramsey scoring, you had even Jack Wilshere was popping up with goals. Theo Walcott was scoring, Oxlade-Chamberlain was scoring. Like, you had players across the team scoring more goals. But since Aubameyang has come in, everything is channeled through him. We've lost goals from other areas of the pitch.
Wait, what? Hold on. So obviously we all know that Giroud he was underrated. I think Giroud was underrated because he didn't score X amount of goals. I would say that's the reason why. It's because of his link-up play was his strongest point, and that's probably why you were seeing goals in other places of the pitch. At the moment, we don't have
Giroud as a central midfielder.
And you know what? I think that's a brilliant place to end the show. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. We'll be back in. I just want to finish off. Each of you tell me, what do you think the score is going to be when Arsenal play Manchester City in the semi-final of the FA Cup? I'm going to start from the top and go round clockwise. Starting with the man in the orange jacket. Please tell me what you think is going to happen.
3-0 Man City.
There? Cam?
I'd like to see 2-1 Arsenal, but realistically, I'm seeing about 4-5.
Yeah.
I think it's 5.
Okay, maybe 6 now. See.
6. Bloody hell.
That's a 6.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think probably 3.
Hey, don't knock it. They scored De Bruyne.
Yeah, it's the squad. The squad is so much better than ours. It's 3-1. It's easy.
Man said 1. I think there's going to be cricket scores for City. I don't think Arsenal are even going to get 1 goal. I think it's going to be a really, really bad and humbling experience.
A man said
I mean, enjoy
9-1,
it,
bruv.
guys.
Oh my lord.
So what are you saying, GMG?
I said it's our day at Wembley, so
Oh, okay. Fine.
enjoy. Woo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna say Arsenal win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Arsenal win on pen.
You hold it down for us, my guy. You hold it down for us, my guy.
What's the score?
It's gonna be 1-1.
Guendouzi screamer.
A Guendouzi screamer 1-1. And yeah, I'm gonna win on pens. And if I'm wrong, then someone can create a day for me. Just finally before we go, we've got one more super chat from TD Shifts. He says, I keep Xhaka, Chambers, and Maitland-Niles for squad depth, but the rest I would agree with. And yeah,
Excellent comment.
I have to agree with you on that one, TD Shifts.
I agree.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
In a way.
We'll be back again another time next week. See you later.
Peace.